Hey everybody, this is Perch. This viewer question is talking about a streaming show. So, no, the channel's not branching out into that. I got a lot of mail from people saying, when I did hey, I watched the Lord of the Rings film. It was like, oh, so this channel is turning into a hate drama. I was like, well, hang on. Okay. No. One video out of 5,000 talking about, the a Lord of the Rings show does not mean this thing is not a comics channel. It's definitely a comics channel. Regardless, this question is about streaming shows, but I don't. It actually applies to comics as well, and you'll see how, or I'll explain. It says, "Hey Perch, like many people, I was a huge fan of Game of Thrones, and the final season left a bad taste in my mouth. I wasn't looking forward to the new prequel series, House of the Dragon, but I already had HBO Max, so I figured I'd give it a shot. By the way, I don't think the last season of Game of Thrones was that bad. I understand that's I've just said like something equivalent to shouting a racist term out, but I didn't think it was that bad. I'm curious. I'd love to sit down and really kind of dig into aspects of it. It wasn't when I say it wasn't that bad. Please don't translate that in your little headcanon to I loved it. I did not, and I think the series in general kind of disintegrated as time went on. But I don't know. The thing that people seem to get upset about, at least people I was talking to, was we can't believe they did that to Daenerys. Meaning, we can't believe we had her kind of rage out and just burn a bunch of shit down because she got pissed. And it's like, but she was unstable. Like, if you weren't watching that the entire way through, if you weren't seeing that she was unstable, like it was choreographed that it was going to happen. I understand that that was maybe a fan favorite character, and I guess some of the people were upset because Trump beat Hillary, so they wanted to see a woman win something. I know that was part of that got people all pissed off, but for God's sake, like, she was clearly insane at various parts during this show. She was not, she was not the altruistic leader. She did some things nice, but she was also, brutal in her own way. So it's like, oh, the evil queen does something to kind of screw with her, and she goes nuts and burns the whole town down and has to be killed. Yeah, that foreshadowing. Anyway, I know that's not the only thing that happened in the season finale, but anyway, I just thought I'd get that off my chest. It's off now. Okay. Anyway, so back to the mail. It says, after 3 terrible episodes, I decided to just sit the rest of the season out and try and binge it later. I'm not going to drop any spoilers, and I don't want to cause the comment section to become a mess by mentioning that fans of House of the Dragon don't know shit from apple butter. Yeah, but, if the shoe fits. Anyway, I won't say that high school was the best 9 years of their lives. Nice. That if somebody said it was raining soup, they'd be outside of the fork, and that they couldn't spell cat. Okay, well, you get it. You go on and on about that. Some good insults there, though. Class act. I like it. I'm not going to say anything like that because this isn't about how bad House of the Dragon is. What truly blows my mind is how people can't fathom that somebody can decide they don't like a show after 2 to 3 episodes. They think people today feel so entitled and have so little attention span, ignoring the fact that binging and waiting for an entire season to drop before passing any negative judgment is a new thing for TV. Note, they have no problem with positive feedback. That's a really good point. And by the way, when I was talking about the Rings of Power show, I talked about review bombing, and some people brought up that it is very true that everybody focuses on the negative review bombing. And to be clear, if you're just spamming something with negative reviews, that's bullshit. And I don't think it's punishable by death, but it's bullshit, dude. It's a waste of time, and that's not what it's intended to do. However, or in addition to that, positively review bombing something is equally bad. Equally. These are people who do not like the show, but are just going in and posting a bunch of positive reviews because they want to feel good about themselves or promote something. It's all bad. Reviews, in theory, should be people who watch the whatever it is and then put out their honest feeling, positive, negative, whatever it is, and only once. That's playing fair. Fair play. Anyway, people never mention the positive review bombing, and there's definitely a lot of positive review bombing that goes on as well. All right. And to bring this to comics, the mail goes, see if the letter writer's going to do it themselves. Many fans of today's comics will say you can't criticize an event just because the first three issues have been talking and eating. You have to wait to see where it's going and how it will end. What are your thoughts on this mentality that you can't judge something before it's completely released? That somehow creators aren't required to grab eyeballs early to get interest in the story? A couple questions there. First off, look, my perspective is this, and it's a very consistent perspective in all of the videos I made, everything I've said, which is kind of a you're on your own type opinion. So I think it's perfectly valid for you to criticize something after 2 minutes into the first episode if it's not hitting you right. Now, if you obsessively do that over the course of years, you may be a little nuts, but that's your business. It's all your business. When you decide to criticize something, 1 episode in, 5 minutes in, wait the entire season, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. But the agreement, the unspoken agreement that I think gets made is if you're going to criticize, say, House of the Dragon after 2 episodes and you're going to go, this thing is garbage, it's not going anywhere, I hate it. No. I think that you have an obligation, if you watch more, if you change your mind, to admit it, to basically come out and say, hey, but then I watched more and it picked up and, I changed my mind. Be prepared to change your mind or be open to changing your mind. To me, that's all anyone can ask for. Just like, look, fair is fair. You can love something and then you can watch a little bit more and hate it. You can hate something and watch a little bit more and love it. It's in anything that's life. And I think we as human beings should be allowed to change our mind, evolve our opinions and everything else. And I think the thing that people have to do is just be humble enough or honest enough to just admit it when things changed. It's hard. Some people will ride that thing into the ground and will say no, I hate it, and even though it's great, I still am sticking with that. I hate it. That or they opt out after 2 episodes, but then they continue talking about how much they hate it, as if they were watching the rest. Now, I think people should be honest. I don't think anyone should feel any shame over positive or negative reviews. Whatever you like, you like. If you're a fan of Nickelback, cool. If you listen to one Nickelback song and it hit you right and you liked it and that's therefore you love it, cool. I think you say I like Nickelback. Be honest and say in fairness, I've only listened to one of their songs, so I have no idea what's going on. But this one song I like. I mean, just be honest with where you're at. A lot of people get themselves into trouble trying to exaggerate, trying to overthink things, trying to kind of. It feels like people are trying to outguess the system in weird ways. And it feels like a lot of people feel insecurity about their opinions. And to me, you should feel very secure. I mean, especially with things you consume, things you like, dislike, movies, comics, books. Why pretend? If you like something, just like it. There's no culture police that's going to come and say, I'm sorry, we were looking through things that you liked and we noticed it's all Michael Bay movies and Pauly Shore films. That's it. You appear to like Pauly Shore, Michael Bay, Squirrel Girl, and reading the safety cards in planes. That seems to be your favorite things. And that based on what you enjoy, what you consume, you're a horrible, awful monster, and should be sterilized. In fairness, I didn't say they liked Nickelback as well. So if you throw that in here, maybe maybe sterilization is your only option. Anyway, but regardless, unless somebody is really all in on Arby's, I think it's live and let live. As far as I'm concerned, no. I think people need to get more comfortable, more secure about what they like and what they don't like, and then just go with it. Just live with it. It is your business. It's you. It's you who has to spend the money on this. It's you who has to like it. It's you who, you've got to be comfortable with the things that you're consuming and watching and eating and buying and all the rest. Only you. And there's no sense in kind of giving away your power and tricking yourself into thinking you have to consume or enjoy something just because someone else doesn't. And again, to your point, no, you don't need to wait till the end of the season. If you get an immediate judgment, you can roll with it. It's totally fine. If you roll with it too early, you run the risk of, hating something or railing on something, and then it turns out that the show changes and suddenly it's different. I watched some people go, I hate the family dynamic between Invincible. It's just so fake. No dad and son would act this way. This is just, it's completely bizarre. It's gushy, cringe level family. It's like, but then the series took a turn and something different happened. And, you have to be willing to either come in and clarify your mistake, or at least, or not a mistake, just say, hey, something changed in what I was doing. That's all. Pretty simple. I think it's all relatively straightforward, all this kind of stuff. Just like what you like. The end. That's it. Just, be comfortable with what it is that you are watching, reading. It's nobody's business but yours. And it doesn't need any attempt to make it more complex than that just gets everybody into trouble. That's my opinion. I don't think you need to wait. In fact, if anything, I do hate that argument of, and when it comes to comics, like, oh, you have to complete the entire run, you have to read the entire arc before you pass any judgment. It's a silly comment. Whether you agree or disagree, you are passing judgment on things all the time, constantly. That's why you were wired. You're constantly judging, and not in a sinister way, but you're going, I like this, I don't like that, I like this, I like the way this makes me feel, I don't like the way this sounds. You're constantly doing that inside your own head. That's normal. Again, that's life. So to deny that is just absurd. So anyway, thank you very much for the mail. Yeah, I do hate that. Well, you can't say anything about the season until you've watched the entire season. My God, if you believe that, one episode in, you're tired, like Rings of Power. I don't think I'm going in for episode 4. I'm just being honest. I can't see myself doing it. It's boring. It's so boring. It's not for me. So if I decided to I've already watched 3 episodes. I guess I should watch another 9. How many episodes are in the first season? I'm guessing somewhere between 10 and 12. Maybe it'll be less. But think about it. If it's 10 episodes and I've watched 3, I've watched 3 hours. 3 hours where nothing has happened. And so I'm going to sit here and go, well, in order to be fair about it, in order to be able to judge it properly, I really need to watch another 7 hours. No, you got better things to do with your life. I do anyway. So no, I think you can judge it when you're ready. And I think you just have to be humble enough or honest enough to admit if things changed. If the show shifts, it's different, it improves, it makes you eat your words, whatever it happens to be, you should be upfront with that. That's really all anyone can ask. Thanks for listening.